At some point, every creator learns the truth. The bigger your audience, the louder your mistakes. In July 2023, IShowSpeed, one of the internet's most explosive, unpredictable streamers, learned that lesson the hard way. He wasn't on a stage. He wasn't in a studio. He was walking the streets of Japan, live streaming everything, with millions watching. What began as a travel stream quickly spiraled into backlash, confusion, and controversy that spread across continents. But this isn't just a story about cultural clashes or angry internet threads. It's about a young creator caught in a storm he didn't see coming, trying to entertain, but realizing too late the weight of his influence. Here's why IShowSpeed's Japan stream became one of the most controversial and emotional chapters of his career. Let's go step by step, from the first cracks to the full collapse. Number 5. The body breaks. First, before the backlash, there was something Speed's audience didn't see right away. He was already suffering. Shortly after landing in Japan, Speed began experiencing excruciating sinus pressure and cluster headaches, a rare, severe neurological condition often described as one of the most painful things a person can experience. But he didn't stop streaming. Even with his face swollen, his voice breaking, and tears in his eyes, Speed pushed through. He wanted to keep the energy high. He didn't want to disappoint anyone. Then came the collapse. Live on stream, his body gave out. He had to be rushed to a Japanese hospital. Later, it was revealed he had to undergo emergency treatment. And just days after being discharged, he was back online, because that's who Speed is. Stubborn, driven, and in his own words, built for this. But this wasn't a comeback story. This was the moment his body warned him, and he ignored it. What came next? Much worse. Number 4. Loud in the land of quiet. Japan is known for many things: precision, politeness, and peace. It's a culture rooted in social harmony, quiet public spaces, and deep respect for others. Speed brought the opposite. He ran through train stations, yelling at the top of his lungs. He barked at random strangers. He pointed cameras at people without consent. He live-streamed himself being unapologetically loud in temples, on streets, and in restaurants. To many of his fans, it was just Speed being Speed. But to Japanese locals and thousands of global viewers, it looked like mockery. Clips of his behavior went viral on Japanese Twitter, with captions like, "This is why tourists aren't welcome anymore. He thinks our culture is a prop." The comments weren't just annoyed, they were heartbroken. And for the first time, it wasn't just English-speaking fans reacting. Speed was now making headlines in Japan, and not the kind he wanted. But the cultural disrespect wasn't the only line he crossed. Number 3. The fan who gave too much. In one particularly uncomfortable moment, a Japanese fan approached Speed during a live stream. He was young, shy, starstruck. He handed Speed a small envelope of cash, a humble gift, to his favorite streamer. Speed, caught in the moment, accepted it, thanked him, smiled, moved on, and the internet lost it. Why would you take money from a kid? This is exploitation. He turned that fan into content. Later, Speed returned the money off camera, but by then, the headlines had already been written. The clip had gone viral. The damage was done. It wasn't just about the money, it was the optics. A multi-millionaire influencer accepting a cash gift from a teenage fan in a foreign country while tens of thousands watched. It wasn't just bad timing, it was bad judgment. But the real explosion came next. Number 2. The racist remark that broke the internet. It started as a greeting, or so Speed thought. While streaming in a local market, he approached an Asian man, looked at him, and loudly said, "Konnichiwa." Then again, then in a mocking tone. But here's the problem. The man wasn't Japanese. He was Chinese. Speed didn't realize it. He kept repeating "konnichiwa" in a cartoonish voice, even when the man looked visibly uncomfortable. The man finally said, "I'm Chinese." Speed froze. Awkward silence. And then the clip hit Twitter. Within hours, accusations of racism filled the internet. People said he was reinforcing stereotypes, making a joke out of Asian identity. Speed quickly went live to apologize. He was visibly shaken. "I didn't know he was Chinese. I wasn't trying to offend. I swear," but it didn't matter, because this moment, intentional or not, hurt people, and it reminded the world that when you're famous, ignorance doesn't protect you from consequences. It was the lowest point of his Japan trip, and yet, it gave rise to something rare. Number 1. The moment he finally reflected. After the backlash, after the headlines, after the hate. Speed sat down, looked into his camera, and got quiet. No screaming, no soundboard, no bark. Just a 19-year-old kid trying to explain the chaos. I messed up, he said. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I just didn't understand. I'm sorry, there were no excuses. Just a long pause, a few tears, and a quiet admission. I'm still learning. It wasn't perfect, but it was human. And for the first time in that entire trip, the noise stopped. Because whether you're a fan or not, there's something powerful about watching someone realize the weight of who they've become. This wasn't a PR apology. It was speed, raw, regretful, and finally understanding that some lines don't reset with a laugh or a meme. IShowSpeed didn't go to Japan to offend. He went to have fun, meet fans, and experience a new part of the world. But what he got was a crash course in global responsibility. Fame doesn't give you a pass. It gives you a platform. And what you do with that platform matters. The Japan stream wasn't Speed's best moment, but it may have been his most important one, because growth never comes without pain. And sometimes the biggest lessons come when the cameras are still rolling. So next time you laugh at one of his chaotic clips, remember the cost. Because behind every viral moment is a very real person learning what it means to be seen by the world. If you felt this, hit subscribe, because we'll keep telling the stories most people skip past. And Speed, we hope he keeps growing. Not just louder, but wiser.